Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 16th verse of the 15th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the second part. In the previous session, we discussed the first part. We're discussing the second part of the purport in this session. The verse, 16th verse is as follows. Yad doshu ma pranihitam guru bhishma karna Naptrit Trigartha Shalya Saindhava Bahlikadyai Astrani Amogha Mahimani Nirupitani Na Upasprishur Nrharidasam Ivasurani. The meaning of this verse is, great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Burishrava, Susharma, Shalya, Jayadrata and Balika all directed their invincible weapons against me. This is Arjuna speaking. But by Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Nrsimhadeva, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. So in the previous session, we discussed about Karna. Elaborately, Prabhupada described Karna's history. And now, Srila Prabhupada describes in brief about the other powerful personalities. First, Burishrava, it's also called Napta. So, Srila Prabhupada says, Burishrava was the son of Somadatta, a member of the Kuru family. His other brother was Shalya. Both the brothers and the father attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjuna due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord. And thus, Burishrava advised the sons of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel or fight with the Pandavas. All of them also attended the Rajasuya Yajna of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He possessed one Akshauhini regiment of army, cavalry, elephants and chariots, and all of these were employed in the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhishma as one of the Yuthapatis. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was especially engaged in a fight with Satyaki, and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjuna cut off his hands and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishwadeva. This is the history of Burishrava. Next, Srila Prabhupada gives a brief history of Trigartha or Susharma, same person. So, first of all, Srila Prabhupada says, this Susharma was son of Maharaj Vriddhakshetra, and he was the king of Trigartha Desha. He was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. He was one of the allies of Duryodhana, and he advised So this Susharma was ally of on the side of Duryodhana. He advised Duryodhana to attack Matsya Desha, which is also called Darbhanga now. During the time of cow stealing in Viratnagara, he was able to arrest Maharaj Virata. But later Maharaj Virata was released by Bhima. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he also fought very valiantly, but at the end he was killed by Arjuna. This Trigartha Sharma fought very bravely, but he was killed by Arjuna. Next, Srila Prabhupada describes Jayadrata. Jayadrata was another son of Maharaj Vriddhakshetra. He was the king of Sindhu Desha, modern day Sindh in Pakistan. His wife's name was Dushala. He was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. See, Draupadi's Swayamvara ceremony was very famous because Draupadi was very beautiful princess of her time. And mind you, Draupadi is described in the Mahabharata as dark complexioned. So our conception, modern conception of beauty is totally different than what was the conception of beauty in the Vedic times. In the Vedic times, somebody may be dark complexion, but they will be considered very beautiful if their bodily features are perfectly in proportion. And the facial features are very nice. So, Jayadrata was always trying to get in touch with Draupadi after he was not able to win Draupadi's hand in Draupadi's Swayamvara. So, how much he tried is described here. When he was going to marry in the Shalya Desha on the way to Kamyavana, he happened to see Draupadi again and was too much attracted to her. The Pandavas and Draupadi were then in exile, and after losing their empire in gambling, and Jayadrata thought that he would send news to Draupadi in an illicit manner through one Koti Shashya, one of his associates. See, lust, when it attacks, a person becomes a victim and unable to remain focused on his actual present situation, and still carries that desire, I want to enjoy Draupadi in an illicit way. So when Jayadrata tried to approach Draupadi in an illicit manner, Draupadi at once refused vehemently the proposal of Jayadrata. But because Jayadrata was so much attracted by Draupadi's beauty, he tried again and again to approach Draupadi. So finally he made a plan to forcibly take away Draupadi on his chariot. And while he attempted that, at first Draupadi gave him a good dashing, and he fell down like a cut root tree. He was able to somehow force Draupadi to sit on his chariot, but at that time, one Dhaumya Rishi, he saw this incident and he strongly protested the action of Jayadrata. Those days, the Kshatriyas were expected to follow the code of conduct. They cannot touch any other woman or kidnap women or take away women. It's not within the Kshatriya code of conduct. So the So Jayadrata tried to somehow forcibly take Draupadi, but he was unsuccessful. So when he tried again and again, the matter was brought to the notice of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Then the Pandavas attacked the soldiers of Jayadrata and killed them all. And at last, Bhima caught hold of Jayadrata and beat him very severely, almost dead. So this Jayadrata, he was taken captive by the Pandavas and he was introduced as a slave of Maharaj Yudhishthira. And in the same condition he was brought before Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira released him very kindly. This Jayadrata, he went to the Himalayas and undertook a severe type of penance to please Lord Shiva. He asked benediction from Shiva that he will be able to defeat all the Pandavas, at least one at a time. So after that there was the battle of Kurukshetra, and this Jayadrata was on the side of Duryodhana. He was fighting very valiantly. The first day, he was engaged with Maharaj Drupada. Then he was fighting against Virata, then against Abhimanyu. Now Abhimanyu's position was very, very strong, but he was mercilessly killed when he was surrounded by 7 great generals. Unlike the Kauravas. When Jayadrata heard that Arjuna took a vow to kill Jayadrata, then Jayadrata wanted to leave the war field. But he was not allowed to do so. Kshatriya, once he has come to the battlefield, he cannot turn his back. Yuddhecha api apalayanam, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Kshatriya quality. He had to fight with Arjuna, and Krishna reminded Arjuna that Jayadrata had a special benediction of Lord Shiva, that whoever would cause Jayadrata's head to fall on the ground, such a person's head would actually get chopped off. So Arjuna threw the head of Jayadrata directly onto the lap of his father, who was engaged in penance at the Shamanta Panchaka pilgrimage site. So Jayadrata's father was surprised to see a head cut off falling on his lap. He at once threw it to the ground. The father immediately died. Jayadrata's father died because his forehead was being cracked in 7 pieces according to the benediction that Jayadrata had received from Shiva. So Jayadrata's own father actually had to die. So that's the end of this purport. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.